Hey guys, and welcome to the Bookstore channel. I want to talk about Maison Margiela's highly anticipated artisanal collection for 2024. It's the show that everyone in the fashion industry has been talking about. And I have to say, I did like this collection, and the fashion show was a mixture of music, staging, theatrics, and fashion garments, and was reminiscent of some of creative director John Galliano's most loved collections. You can tell that John Galliano was trying to pretty much make a mark and a bold statement in the fashion space with this collection, because it had the extraordinary setting under the Pont Alexandre III Bridge in Paris, which sits alongside the Seine River, inspired by photographer Bressai's nighttime photos of Paris. And then the models in the show looked incredible, with their bodies re-engineered with prosthetics and corsetry. And then you had Dame Pat McGrath's unbelievable makeup artistry, which was not only iconic with the glass porcelain finish, it was also emotive, but the focus was still entirely on the clothes, and I loved the clothes, which showcased technique and experimentation and creative expression. So John Galliano really hit the mark on all fronts with the Maison Margiela show. He checked off all the boxes, and I thought it was an amazing collection, and I think it's a show that we will appreciate the more we look at it and reflect on it. I mean, many people compared it to the golden era of 90s and early 2000s fashion, where people were excited about fashion shows and were blown away by shows and felt that they saw something truly special. And I want to get into more specifics, but before I do, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. But one critique I do have about the show is about the narrative that some have stated which surrounds the show, which is that they felt the collection is more Galliano than Margiela. Now, if you don't know, Maison Margiela was founded in 1988 by Belgian designer Martin Margiela and Jenny Meurens, and the Margiela motto was always, "Nothing is lost, everything is altered," from using second-hand clothes to deconstructing and redefining and reinventing things like the male and female silhouette. And personally, I think that Galliano has tried to keep to this ethos in his designs at Margiela. Yes, so there were some nods to his designs at Dior, but I mean, look at even his previous artisanal show for Margiela, which I detailed in my video on John Galliano's career. He very much was in keeping with the Margiela ethos. So I don't really think that the criticism is right, but I do understand why some might think that John Galliano is such a force that he overshadows everything he's a part of. I don't know, what do you think? Now let's talk about the staging for the show. It was genius. The whole models are muses was a great touch, and Galliano has this philosophy that his models are his muses for his pieces. And the models had garments and pieces in the style of artist Kees van Dongen, who painted bodies in blue and skies in pink and green, and painted a fantasy world unlike what most could imagine. And I hope he keeps that perspective of models as muses for his future shows, because I think that would be amazing. But I do want to get into some of the pieces that I liked. The clothes featured cinched waists and mid-century silhouettes. I really liked the tissue lame dress in gold veiled with tulle and the padded suits. But that's the thing, the technique behind making the clothes meant that one thing pretty much reflected another thing to keep with the Margiela style. So I like the layering of organza pressed together and painted to look like wool. I liked the leather neck pieces that looked like porcelain. And I really liked how he used temporary adjustments to reshape the silhouette. So you know how you might pull up your shirt collar or hike up a trouser leg? These are temporary adjustments, but John Galliano made these permanent. So what he did was he cut these temporary adjustments permanently into the garments so that the silhouettes were reshaped. And John called this emotional cutting. And he took his time with his collection. I mean, some garments took up to 9 months to make. I mean, he used scraps of lace or pieces of tulle to give the effect of light falling across the clothes or water and oil stains. And I really liked this experimental approach to making his clothes. And I kind of want to get into the art of haute couture. From the wide-ranging praise for the Margiela show, I kind of get the sense that the fashion media has been starved of an exciting show for years and had sort of given up hope on being truly inspired or taken aback by a couture show. I mean, how many times have we heard a collection being described as mediocre or just okay? And I kind of touch upon this in my video on Men's Paris Fashion Week. Yeah, so Vogue even put out an article about the Margiela show with the headline, "The John Galliano show my generation has been waiting for." And the cut went for, "Maison Margiela's couture collection will go down in history." There was even one that said, "Why John Galliano's astonishing Margiela show will change fashion forever." High praise indeed. And people thought that the shows proved why couture is still relevant and why it brings in audiences and makes such an impact. And I mean, only time will tell in terms of the long-term impact of this collection, but it's safe to say that people were truly excited by the collection. It changed the landscape of fashion and had everybody talking about it. Now, there are some other design techniques that I really liked in the Margiela show. There were silicone treatments to make fabric seem soaked, dragged through water or rained on. And this was one of my favourite treatments of the show. And tweeds were treated with glue and crepe and then boiled repeatedly to shrink and mould the material. And coats were made from layers of organza and chiffons printed to resemble heavy-duty wools, then smothered in tulle, which I thought looked really special. Also, another technique that I absolutely loved was the use of lace dresses that were decoupaged to appear like they were seamless. And I really loved these techniques and the variety of techniques that he chose. I mean, nothing was as it appeared. It was fashion trickery, it was theatre, and I loved it, I really did. And I have to give a special shout out to Pat McGrath. And if you don't know, Pat McGrath is a legendary British makeup artist with her own product range, and she's been killing it for a long time, and she is a long-term collaborator of John Galliano. I think one of her most iconic partnerships with John was for the Dior Spring-Summer 2004 Couture show, and I did a video on this, and they channeled Egyptian pharaohs, Nefertiti and Sphinx, and I really liked the looks. And Pat McGrath really did her thing at the Maison Margiela Artisanal 24 show. I mean, she had the makeup folks shaking at her shiny glass skin that the models had. The makeup techniques really accentuated the clothes that Galliano designed, and I loved it. It was striking and beautiful and gave off a porcelain doll illusion, and I really liked that. And it had people all over social media wondering how she did it. And she actually did a live video on Instagram where she revealed her secrets.
Divine Blush Legendary Glow Color Balm into Love Struck Skin Fetish Divine Blush, which is our powder blusher, and you're seeing the build of that incredible doll.
Yeah, so I really liked the show, and the more I delved into the techniques used and rewatched the show, the more I liked the collection. The show has honestly earned its critical acclaim. If you like theatrics and staging, the show has that. If you like creativity, the show has that. If you like innovative makeup techniques, the show has that. And if you like design, the show definitely has that too. Maison Margiela, led by John Galliano, did their thing. They really did their thing, and Margiela's sales have continued to increase since John Galliano joined the fashion house in 2014. And it's a testament to the star power and talent of John Galliano and the impact of Margiela on fashion, which is amazing. And the critical acclaim is a huge achievement. It also goes to show that you can have second chances in life and make a real impact. Anyways, tell me what you think about this video down below. Like, comment and subscribe, and share this video if you care to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!